Eric was over here watering the flowers. Oh, I caught him right at the end of it. So he was watering our new bushes we put down there. So, hey, somebody's got to do it.
When duty calls.
Yep. It's either going to be God or it's going to be Eric. So. Oh.
And that, my friends, is how it's done. Kane's the lifeguard. He doesn't like anybody being in the water. And he also doesn't like to be in the water himself. He stands so close. Pull him in, Ian. See what happens. No, he wouldn't. He'd swim. He's a smart dog. Go, Kane. Get in the water. It's okay, buddy. Go get in.
Come here. Come here. That's good.
Come here, Kane. Come here. Come here. You get in the water. He doesn't want anything to do with that. Okay. JC.
Say, look at me. I'm swimming.
JC, say, hey, YouTube. JC, say, hey, YouTube. Okay, we're out. So we just got done swimming. That was a lot of fun. And I don't know if I'm going to put that footage first or after. Don't know. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Teaching my my niece. She's turning 2 next week. And we're teaching her how to swim. I learned to swim when I was super young. I mean, about her age, you know, a little younger. I mean, I was swimming when I was really little, just because my brothers were all swimming, and my mom, we had a neighborhood swimming pool, and my mom was in charge of cleaning it every other day or every day or whatever, you know. And so we were always down at the pool. And so I learned to swim when I was really little. Mom told me a story of that we went to a place called Whitewater here in Atlanta. That's what is that? Oh, it's a piece of string. Okay. Well, looked like a bug for a second. There's a place called Whitewater here in Atlanta. It's just like a water park. And she said that I came down one of the huge slides one time and I was really little, and all the lifeguards like started flipping out, and I just swam right away, right off to the side, you know, and they were all flipping out, and my mom was just like off watching me, you know, making sure I wasn't going to drown. But yeah, I learned to swim when I was really little, so I've always just swam. I don't know, and so yeah. And then I did a backflip. I don't know how well it turned out on video when I was swimming, but I actually learned to do a backflip in a wrestling ring instead of most people learn to do backflips on trampolines or pools or whatever, you know. I learned in a wrestling ring. I just kept flipping back until busting my head until I learned how to do a backflip. So, and then I just started doing it everywhere. I still can't do one like standing on the ground, jumping up and doing a flip. You're not going to catch me doing that, but I'll do it off a trampoline or whatever, you know. a swimming pool or a wrestling ring, which I haven't talked about much. I mentioned it a couple weeks ago that I used to be a wrestler, and when I was in high school, actually, I guess I'll sit down and tell you the story, because I probably won't film much tonight because I don't think that a whole lot's going on. But when I was in middle school, the teachers were like, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And of course, in middle school, I was like, I want to be a professional wrestler, dude. And they were like, okay, well, what do you really want to be? I was like, I really want to be a professional wrestler. And they were like, okay, well, what's a backup plan? I'm like, I don't know. I just want to be a professional wrestler. And so they were like, okay. And so then I got into high school, and I was like, really wanting to do it. And, you know, I'd put on little, you know, we'd wrestle on the trampoline and stuff like that when I was little. But in high school, I found a wrestling ring pretty cheap on eBay. This was back when you could actually get deals on eBay. And nowadays it's not so much. But I bought, or my dad bought, a wrestling ring for me, and we put it up in the backyard, like kind of in the woods, and I just started training myself. And then I started, once I got decent at it, and I brought some friends over, then they started wrestling, and I started teaching them, and they would show me stuff, and we would watch videos and stuff like that. And this isn't like backyard wrestling, like traditional, like just beat the hell out of each other kind of stuff, you know. We learned how to wrestle, and the best we could on our own, you know. And so at that point, I went through high school, and we put on shows every 2 months for, I think, a year or 2 years or something like that. So we did like, and then we had just wrestled during the summer, but we had only promote shows during school years, because that's when we could actually get people to hear about it and show up. So we would post flyers all over the high school and stuff like that, and we had a good, you know, 12, 15 guys that would wrestle, you know, and so we would put on shows. And one time we had 100 people in my backyard watching us wrestle, and so it was a lot of fun. And I'll probably end up putting some footage of us wrestling back in the day. There was some good stuff. But then after high school, I started college at the Art Institute of Atlanta, and I had a friend of mine, his uncle wrestled professionally. We call it wrestling professionally, but really we just wrestled for shit for money. But they trained me how to actually wrestle professionally, and I would go to shows every weekend and wrestle, and we'd occasionally travel up to, you know, Tennessee and Alabama and places like that to wrestle. And so I actually got trained how to wrestle professionally, and so I haven't done it in quite a few years now, but it's always something that I've loved doing. I really don't like watching it on TV anymore because it's just gone downhill so bad, but it's still a lot of fun to actually get out there and do as a sport, and yes, it is choreographed. People can get pissed off at me for telling you wrestling's fake, but it is choreographed, but it still takes a lot of athleticism to get out there and do it. So this is turning into an actual vlog, me telling you my life. But I probably don't have much to show you today because we're just going to eat some barbecue here in a little bit, and that's about it. So I hope you enjoy my story of my life. And nowadays, I don't do much of anything other than, well, you see it. So if you don't know what I do, just go back and start watching videos. I hang out with friends. That's about all I do, and work a little bit. Sad life, but somebody's got to do it. So yeah, let's eat some barbecue. Yeehaw.